Ooh, it's nice. Guys, the snow is gone. It looked like December, literally like 2 days ago, if you watched my Action 5 Pro video. And now we're back to summer again, 65 degrees, birds are chirping. Guys, we're on full auto Osmo Pocket 3, full auto exposure, full auto white balance, normal color profile, guys. You guys know I'm about that normal color profile. D-Log, I can't figure it out yet, guys. But today, I want to talk to you guys about the DJI secret sauce. And it's not really a secret sauce, but it's just interesting how DJI handles this camera, and I'm starting to understand maybe the purpose of who this camera is for, or who was it intentionally designed for. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Bear with me, guys. We have a lot of cool things to experiment with, and just things that I've been trying out, especially since I got the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro camera. Hopefully I said that right. But it just, I started playing around with the files and seeing if it was doing the same thing, messing around with settings. This is just kind of like sitting on my couch and looking at the image. I still have videos coming up this week. I'm playing around with it today. I want to try to film at least 4 videos today, so we're going to be up on the grind. And if for some reason you see the next 4 videos I'm wearing this hoodie, it's because I recorded them all in one day. I typically try to do a few a day, so I'm not going to switch my hoodie so that you guys don't think I don't change clothes, but that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about this DJI secret sauce. And I kind of, some sort of like, oh my gosh, here she goes. She's not going to leave me alone. I'm gonna let her out. Hopefully Stella will come and lay down behind me. She usually likes to lay here right by the sun. Come here, girl. If you guys, oh my gosh, Stella. See, this is why I can't do YouTube. This is why, okay, say hi. This is why, come on. The secret sauce, the secret sauce. I call it the secret sauce. Short words is some sort of like HDR, I guess you could call it, that DJI is doing, but it's interesting how it works and where they decide to apply it and what devices they decide to apply it to. It's all very interesting to me, and I don't think anybody's really talking about this topic that much. And I'm going to try to break this down into somewhat a form or like order that makes sense. I have this thing in my head with DJI that or at least I have this thing in my head with the Osmo Pocket 3 that I call like the Holy Trinity. It's this triangle, and it's the auto triangle. Basically, you put your camera in normal color profile, full auto exposure, and auto white balance. If you have that all set up, then DJI secret sauce gets activated. You get some sort of a highlight protection, you get some high shadow boost, and you get a really nice exposed image, just like you're looking at it right now. We're on full auto, no ND, no nothing. Now, if you take one of those things out, boom, no secret sauce. No, DJI is like, nope, you're not getting the secret sauce if you take any of these things off, because we want you to use this camera in full auto. We made this camera for you guys to use it very easily, for anybody to use it, professional and regular person that doesn't know anything about cameras or could care less. They just want to flip this thing on, hit record, and it's stable, beautiful colors. I don't have to do anything. That's what this was designed for. Now, I think DJI put D-Log into this thing, or this sensor, because they wanted to get more sales with people like me that are used to shooting log, the semi-pro or professional, or the geekier people that want to mess around with the settings and the filters and color grade and all this stuff. And to me, I just don't think it looks that good. And I don't, or at least I don't think it looks good enough to go through all the hassle of doing all that stuff when normal colorful auto looks really, really good, and it takes like less work to do, way less work to do. It makes my life a lot easier and more enjoyable to do these videos. So number one, right now you're seeing the secret sauce. Pay attention to shadows. I wanted to come here because we have a high contrast area. I got the sun kind of diffused because there's a little bit of clouds in front of it, but it's hitting my face. We got dark areas here on the side and everything like that. I'm trying to look at the camera. I still keep looking at the screen, but this is where it's at. We got the secret sauce right now. I love this. I can grade this and it's gonna look really, really beautiful. We are at -1 EV because every camera naturally tends to overexpose images, and I feel like -3, where a lot of people recommend to try this, is still overexposed to me. But for my liking, I like to go -1 on this thing. So let me show you what happens when we take this off the triangle, right? So if we mess with the holy Trinity triangle that I just talked about, which is auto exposure, auto white balance, normal color 10-bit, that gives you the secret sauce. If I take one of those out, you don't get no secret sauce. Now, let's take off the exposure. I'm gonna just put it in manual, and I'm gonna match the settings that the Osmo Pocket is telling me to use here. And the way I'm gonna do this, guys, is I'm going to hit stop, and I'm gonna go to exposure. You can check what the auto settings are telling the DJI to expose this image to. So I can see the ISO, I'm gonna be able to see the shutter speed, and then we're just gonna keep auto white balance the same, even though I do believe that ISO or this Trinity triangle also affects color a little bit. But bear with me. Pay attention to this image. You can go back to the video if you wanna see the image with the secret sauce. I'll put it down here so you know that you're looking at the secret sauce. And I'm gonna match the settings exactly what DJI is doing right here. But pay attention, things do not look the same. Even normal 10-bit color, you don't get the secret sauce if you don't use the holy Trinity triangle. Let's go. All right, guys, here's the settings. When I was in auto, the ISO was 70, which if you're in manual, you don't get to pick those in between ISOs. So you can't even hit those sweet spots, you know, with it. If you're gonna go manual, you can either do 50, 100. So I picked 50. I picked 50 because it's closer than it's closer to the 70 ISO that I can't pick on this thing. So then if I go 100, but I can do 100 if you want me to. I'm gonna get the same results. It's just gonna be a little bit overexposed. I picked 3200 shutter speed because that's where it was using when it was an auto, and the EV you can't adjust because you're using manual ISO. This is the image that you get on normal 10-bit color. Exact same settings, except for the ISO, it's 50. If you guys want, I can go 100. Let's go 100. Just, I can't pick 70, so it just limits you. You can't pick that. Same thing for white balance. You can only go in increments of like 100. You can't pick those sweet dialed in shots that when you get the secret sauce of full auto, it allows you to pick those perfect auto white balance. So that's another reason why I preach auto. It does a great job, guys. Let's go to 100 just for those people that are like, oh, well, you're an ISO 50. It's gonna be underexposed. Let's go to 100. All right, guys, here you go. 100 ISO, I can't pick 70. Same thing, 3200 shutter speed and normal color 10-bit, auto white balance. Look at this image. Just look at it. It's not the same. It's not the same. Like even the colors for some reason look a little desaturated. The highlights, like they don't look like they're peaking, but they look, the spots, at least on the screen here, they look pretty hot. And if the sun's peeking out, they're gonna get pretty hot. Obviously we're on manual, but still, like, look, it just, my eyes look pretty dark on here on the screen. Like everything, like the dark, it looks really weird. It's like it took color off, even though it's a normal 10-bit color. So no secret sauce from DJI. They don't give you the sauce. They're like, nope, you're on your own. Now let's take it even a step further. And you know what, guys? It gets worse. When you shoot D-Log-M, they don't really tell you anything. They're like, all right, man, here you go. Just do whatever you want. And they don't even help you with anything. It looks worse. First of all, in D-Log, you don't get to, like, you have more low light capabilities with normal color because you can go all the way to 6400 ISO. Now, do I recommend going to 6400 ISO? No, but if I'm vlogging and I'm just capturing the moment, I want to let my camera do whatever it needs to do to get me the image to tell the story. I think that when I'm telling a story and vlogging, I don't think anybody cares if I go into a room and it's a little bit noisy for a little bit and then I come back and then it's light again. Like, nobody cares. And I can still keep you guys engaged and continue vlogging. I don't overthink those things. And that's what I'm trying to break out of your guys' head to just stop worrying about this stuff. I'm doing these videos because I want to help you guys. I want to give you guys information. I'm going to keep testing out things because I'm passionate about learning things, experimenting with cameras, and that's what we're doing here on YouTube, guys. So I'm going to continue playing around with all these settings and showing you guys my theory and what I think about these things and what I found out exploring these things. So here it is, guys, 10-bit. I got off that Holy Trinity triangle. You don't get the secret sauce. Let's go to D-Log. D-Log, like I said, it's just worse. First of all, D-Log, it doesn't even work the same in auto. If you shoot everything auto and you just switch over to D-Log, it doesn't expose correctly. We've talked about it on other videos. That you can find out other videos about. I feel like I don't have to explain it or show it, but if you guys want, let's go over to D-Log. All right, guys, we are now on D-Log, and I do wish that DJI puts the color recovery option on the Osmo Pocket. I'm pretty sure they'll bring it in a firmware update, but it's basically like a monitoring LUT, so that at least it lets you look at the footage like if it was in normal color mode without applying it, so that it just looks better for the viewer, especially if this is like a beginner camera for like any type of person. They're gonna be turned off by this. If I was like you know, if I was some like non-nerdy person, I was like, oh, I heard the DJI is a small camera, I want to film my family vacation, you know, I'm retired, you know, I don't care about all this geeky stuff, and I turned it on and I saw myself and I look desaturated and flat. That's not going to be pleasing to me. And then maybe you're saying, well, those kind of people are not going to shoot D-Log, but if they're going on YouTube and all you see is like D-Log to get the best image, D-Log, 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 they're not going to know. They're just going to go and hit D-Log and they're going to be like, whoa, this looks bad. And they're not going to edit this footage. They're not going to do any of that stuff. I've actually seen people posting their videos just straight like this on YouTube because you could just tell they don't know anything about the camera. They just heard shoot D-Log and they don't grade it or anything. And it looks bad. But this is D-Log on full auto. We're not getting the secret sauce on this thing either. Like, we're not getting that lifted up shadow or anything like that. I'm gonna transform this footage with the DJI official LUT because that's what they're recommending to do. I'm not gonna add any color grading or anything like that because I want you guys to see what it looks like straight out of the camera, and so you guys can really see that I'm not messing with shadows or highlights or anything, just showing you guys. All right, I'm gonna check the settings on what Auto's telling me to do for D-Log. Here, let me show you what D-Log. When you're backlit, right now the sun went down, but when you're backlit, it like completely look, this is what I'm talking about. I look dark, like just black in the screen right now. So if I was a person that's just learning how to use this thing, I'd be like, why am I so dark? Like, this doesn't look right. I'm really underexposed. Let's go back to auto, normal color profile, and you'll see that you get the secret sauce and it exposes you correctly. So DJI in D-Log mode is basically like, hey, you're on your own. Even if we do auto, we're not giving you that secret sauce. You have to be in normal color profile, auto exposure, auto white balance to get that secret sauce. You got to stick within the Holy Trinity. So here we go. Let's switch to normal color profile so I can show you that. Check it out, guys. Normal color profile, untouched. It's adjusting. It detected my face. You can see the backdrop. Look at that. It's looking beautiful. Didn't move any settings. Just switched the color profile. We're still on full auto versus D-Log. You guys tell me what you like. This makes my life easier. I could literally just post this video right now and it'll look good. And I don't really have to color grade it, but if you want to, all I recommend is up the saturation a little bit and you're set. That's like the easiest color grading you could do. You don't have to do anything else. If you want to get like a little, you know, creative with it, you can. And I would just suggest to move colors around, but don't mess with contrast because this already has a good contrast curve in my opinion. That's what I would do. I'll probably do another updated color grading video on this, but you don't have to do anything. Look at this. You're getting that secret sauce. DJI is like, we like that. We like that. Let's go back to D-Log so we can continue with that. All right, guys, same spot. Lighting hasn't changed. We are back on D-Log, but this time I took it off of auto. But before I took it off of auto, I saw what auto was telling the camera to adjust D-Log in, and it said 50 ISO, and D-Log was saying to use 8,000 shutter speed. That's what the camera was saying in auto mode. So it was saying, hey, for auto D-Log, use 50 ISO and 8,000 shutter speed. So I went to manual, I went to 8,000 ISO, I adjusted the ISO, 8,000 shutter speed, I adjusted the ISO to 50, just like Otto said, and now gets even worse. Like, look at this. Like, this is manual right here, guys. I haven't done anything. I set the settings that Otto said it was gonna do, and it either looks the same or something is going on. Like, you're just not getting the right exposure. So with D-Log is one of those things that you're gonna have to do manually, but I didn't buy this camera to shoot manual, guys. Like, if you're a beginner, stick with the Holy Trinity that I just shot you. So the DJI gives you the sauce. The secret sauce is the best way. You can color grade that footage, guys. It's just a neutral color. I don't know why people get so caught up with DJI colors, and they're not saturated. They're not overly saturated. They are not. This doesn't have a vivid profile. It's just normal color, and you can move those colors around because it's 10-bit. You add your creative LUT over it and adjust it. Try it. Try it with the secret sauce. Makes your life so much easier. You don't need ND. You don't need anything. Just stick with the Holy Trinity. That's what this camera was designed for. But nobody's talking about the secret sauce, and it gets more interesting, guys. I have another video coming after this that I'm going to be working on. When I got the DJI Osmo 5 Pro camera, I thought, well, this is what DJI does with Otto, right? They add that HDR, blah, 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 secret sauce that I call it. I thought they were going to do the same thing on the action camera, the 5 Pro that I just got. And I just was like, you know what, let me try this. So I went to full auto, right? Like I do on this, 4K 24, full auto exposure, auto everything, -1 on the EV. And then I switched over to manual. It didn't change. It stayed the same like it should have. But on Osmo Pocket 3, it's giving you the secret sauce, but you don't get that on the Osmo Action 5 Pro camera. It's almost like that is really a pro camera, and they knew that pros weren't gonna like that HDR secret sauce or whatever it is that they're adding that basically gives you more dynamic range, I guess you could say. In this camera, I looked it up on DJI's website and their thread thing. Somebody asked, and a DJI person responded, this camera has 12.7 dynamic range, but I don't know if that's in D-Log or their secret sauce. But I think it's the secret sauce that gives you all that dynamic range, and that's how they're able to say, oh, this is how much dynamic range you get. But on the Action 5, they're not doing any of this stuff. It works way different. I don't know if it has to do with the sensor. I think this camera, guys, was designed for regular, like, people that are not nerdy, and they only added D-Log M to try to bring up more sales for people like me and other nerdy guys. And can they kind of make it work because we're professionals and we can tweak and make things work a little bit, make it look cinematic? Yes, but it takes up more work, and that's not why we got this camera. And this camera is to go easy mode. Guys, we already shoot, for the professionals out there, we already shoot with VND filters. We got Sonys, we got Lumixes, we got all those cameras. Obviously, you have them. You got, if you want the cinematic and all that stuff, then use that. Why are you struggling with this little thing? This thing was not designed to be used all manual and constantly switch settings and adjust. Now the sun's coming now, I gotta readjust again. D-Log is clipping everything. Like, it doesn't make sense. So what makes sense to me is that this camera, DJI decided to put the secret sauce with that Holy Trinity because that's what DJI wants you to do with this camera. That D-Log thing on this thing, and this sensor wasn't designed to do that. Let me get out of this thing because I don't know why I'm still filming on this ugly, like, D-Log manual underexposed looking thing. Let me go back to the secret sauce. Boom, guys, secret sauce right here. Full auto, normal color, full everything. Let the camera take control. No NDs, no wide angle lenses, straight out of the box, guys. Right here, look at this. This is gorgeous. No matter where I turn, like, I could just vlog around with you guys. Let me get my cup of water right here. Let's go. Just film like this, just turn it on. I really love this camera. The next video, guys, that I have coming up is going to be, I have a lot of videos where I'm testing the Osmo Action 5 Pro, which I really do love. It's just a different tool. I'm not letting go of this Osmo Pocket. It really, honestly, I don't know. After vlogging with the other one, the only thing I like about the other one is that wide angle lens. But the experience of vlogging, it's a little bit different. And I'm gonna get into those details in the next video. So I'm gonna call it like which one's for you for vlogging, if you're trying to get a camera or something like that. And it's basically like is, it's this one, it's Osmo Pocket 3 versus the other one for vlogging and who should get it. And I'm gonna break it down into two parts. One of them is gonna be the first part is gonna be for beginners or like not nerdy people. And then the second half of the video is gonna be for semi-pros or nerdy people or professionals or whatever. But yeah, it's really cool what DJI is doing with all these things. But ultimately, the secret sauce and why they only have it on this and not the Action 5 Pro, I think it's because this sensor and this camera was designed for easy use, turn on, hit record, and let's go type of user, which I love. I think they added D-Log on this thing because they figured, oh, if we say it has D-Log M, we can sell it to more professionals like me, and we'll be trying to play with it. Like I said, we can make it work, but the amount of work that it takes, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Like, can you as a professional grade this right here? I'm pretty sure you can. I've been doing it the whole time. You can do it. Just try it. Give it a try. Try your best. Try as hard as you don't actually, you know what? You don't even need to try that hard to grade this versus D-Log. Like, you don't need a conversion LUT. Just literally slap your creative LUT over this, adjust the opacity, tweak the colors. You're gonna get a beautiful image off of this. Bump up the saturation on D-Log versus normal color profile. Bump it like extremely high. Look how it just acts with colors and pushing and pulling. It's just weird. I feel like because it's already a processed Rec 709 image, nobody really knows what D-Log really is. Like I said before in my other video, not even DaVinci Resolve, like the king of color grading, like software that big professionals use to color grade these movies and stuff, doesn't even support D-Log M yet that I know of up to this date. The color space transform, it doesn't have it. And there's other people out there, oh, you gotta use HLG profile. Nobody wants to do that. This is just a camera to hit record and go document your day, dude. If I was to do all that, I would just use my Sony. It makes it so much easier. I could just hold my Sony ZV-E1 here, slap my LUT, get a super cinematic image, and you guys are gonna love it. Like, but that would just take forever, and I wouldn't be doing as many YouTube videos as I am able to put out if I didn't have this camera. So anyways, that is the secret sauce and my reasoning for shooting full auto and why it makes your life easier, and that there is a difference between all the settings. If you don't believe me, experiment with yourself. Set this thing up, swipe, go to exposure while it's still on auto. Look at the settings, look at the ISO up here, okay, what it's telling you, and then look at the shutter speed, and then hit manual, adjust the ISO to what it told you to do up on auto, put the shutter speed to what auto told you, and look at the image. Don't change the color profile, just look at the image. It's not the same, it's handling highlights, contrast a lot different. This secret sauce adds almost like a highlight recovery almost, and then a shadow lift. So it does give you more dynamic range. It looks nice to me. It's not overpowering, it's not over digital, it's not, there's none of that. Like, this looks really beautiful. Let me show you what it looks like graded. So hopefully I'll do like a little slide thing where like you see color pop in here in the way that I like to see colors. Don't judge it. That's just my own preference. You can do whatever you want. You can add orange teal LUTs. You can do whatever. I just like a little bit of saturation to keep things nice and clean. But see, I just graded this thing and it looks beautiful. Anyways, I hope this video helped. And I don't know why a lot of people are not talking about this. I tried looking everywhere. I know that people have said, yeah, it does some HDR thing, but like getting specific to like when it does, because it's not just a normal color profile. It's if you get out of the holy Trinity triangle that I told you, which is auto exposure, auto white balance, and normal color 10-bit. Because if you change the setting to D-Log in that triangle, nope, no secret sauce from DJI. You don't get it. Nope, straight to jail. You don't get it. I hope this video helped you guys and experiment with it. If you don't believe me, and I'm not asking you to believe me, don't believe any YouTuber, go out there and try these things for yourself. You obviously probably have an Osmo Pocket, and that's why you're watching this video. And you're probably trying to get like, what's the best image and stuff like that. Like, this is where I get the best image, and this is what I feel like from playing around. This is the best I can get out of this thing, and the easiest too. I was like, why am I struggling? Why do I keep breaking my head and trying to get the cinematic thing? It's just, I can't break off of it. So I'm exercising my brain, but I'm showing you guys that it's just been burned into us from like you got a motion blur, all this stuff, and like it's nice, but like, is it worth it? Like, is it worth it, guys? I don't know. Is the difference that is the difference in the extra work, like, is it worth it? I don't know. Thinking about this thing all night, man. But that was the video I've been wanting to try to get out, especially now that I got that other camera. Like, it doesn't do it on that camera. It's consistent. So I'm gonna test D-Log on a DJI Action Pro camera. I'm gonna test D-Log on there because if it's keeping the same processing throughout the whole thing, then maybe D-Log does work really well on that camera. I'm still gonna pick normal color profile, but we're gonna run some tests, and that's gonna be another video this week coming. Guys, the live for this week is gonna be DJI Osmo Pocket 3 we're just gonna talk about the two vlogging cameras from DJI, which I'm gonna say is the Action 5 Pro and the Osmo Pocket 3. So that's gonna be this live on this weekend. I don't know when I'm gonna announce it, but maybe today. I'm gonna think about it, but we're gonna go live here this week again. So I hope to see all you guys there. Thank you again for Chipotle last time. Guys, before I leave, I am working on that giveaway. I have a free will ND64 that I said I was gonna give away last live session, and I said after the live I was gonna go back through the comments and see who wanted to join in, but I can't when I go to the comments, it doesn't show me all the comments that I remember seeing in that live vlog. So if somebody can help me figure out how to see all of the comments, it only shows me top comments, and then when I hit all, for some weird reason, it still doesn't show me all of them. And I'm playing it back, and sometimes the comments pop up. It's really, really weird, and I am gonna give this thing away, but if I can't figure it out, guys, I am going to I don't know how I'm gonna get those names. I feel bad because there's one person that commented recently on another video and said, hey, when are you gonna do the giveaway? And I would think that this one user was one of the ones that commented in the live video. And but there was plenty other ones. So I don't remember their names, and I'm trying to look back. So if you guys can help me with that, that would be awesome. If not, what I'll do is on this weekend when I go live, I'm just gonna take some names down right at the beginning of the live, and I'm gonna write them down as they come live, because then I don't have to remember, and I'll just do the drawing there, because it turned into a mess. I thought I could just go back and read the comments, but I can't. So if somebody can help me out in the comments, let me know. Other than that, guys, I hope this video helped you, and stay tuned. I got a lot of cool, interesting things that I've been learning between these two cameras for logging, but I'm not leaving the Osmo Pocket 3, guys. I'm here, and this thing, I still love this camera so much. All right, so don't be scared. Stay cool, start vlogging, and I don't know how to end this thing. Peace.